Good morning, everyone. It's Rifgal. We are playing some more Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster. We are replaying Final Fantasy IV yet again because I am doing a podcast on Retro Encounter, second episode of which will be coming out today, concurrent with this episode. And we are going to be, hopefully, finishing the game today as well. All we've got left is the last weapon altar. This can be a scary one, but I think as long as we're smart about it, we should be okay. And as with a lot of stuff in this, or at this point in the game, it really comes down to make sure you're healing and hit it really hard. Trying to remember, I think this is another boss where if you use several of these bosses, if you try to use summons, it ends up screwing you over, and I can't remember if this is one of them. Yeah, it just uses Blaze. That's fine. Pretty much all of Ogopogo's attacks are percentage-based, except its physicals. So keeping your health up so that those tidal waves only do, or don't kill you. Making sure you're healed up before you do Blaze, and making sure you before you do magic on him, and making sure that you have enough defense to take those hits. Pretty much all the strategy there is to this. Pretty straightforward. Now, I'm noticing I don't have... haven't gotten quite enough experience to get Rydia's last spell. Spells, actually. I think we've still got a whole row left. Which isn't great. On the other hand, I'm pretty sure we can still take Zeromus. So, we'll just have to be smart about it. That's okay. We have get an abundance of Fuma Shuriken on the way down, which are throwing items for edge. Get another cutscene battle. This time we see Golbez and Fusoya going to town on Zeromus. I love how they portray this with Golbez using all the Aga spells. Fusoya using all the, like, white magic to support. I also love the fact that despite Meteor being this legendary spell that is, like, ridiculous and, you know, just using it kills Tella, Golbez and Fusoya can just use it. And use a special version even that does straight 9s. For the record, everyone in the game can, or all the black mages in the game can learn Meteor, except, actually no, all of them, yeah. If you get Palom or Rydia enough levels, they will learn Meteor. And they can actually cast it, unlike Tella, who never has enough MP. We get the naming of the villain behind the villain. He has Zenus has evolved into Zeromus. And now he just is magically healed by everything. And we find out that Golbez can't use the crystal because he chose a dark path. But they give us this little, that does give us a little hint here. The twins can tell that Cecil and the others are in danger, and they encourage us to pray. And each of our party members sends their prayer. Even Tella, who is not there in the Tower of Prayers. Time distortion. All magic has been nullified. Okay. We have to use the crystal. And with that, Zeromus reveals his true form. Ooh. We're going to start off with a Spider Silk. That's going to cast Slow. Zeromus counters magic with Flare. I'm slightly confused. Did I accidentally equip something that makes Cecil immune to Berserk? Or is his just evasion just too high? Holy crap, that is a cool version of Big Bang. So, important thing to note here. In the original game, there's a programming bug where whenever he uses a flare to counter you, okay, this is another fight where the script is completely changed. And, I'm kind of terrified. We may need to go level up. Kane gets back, is like, where'd everybody go? Wow. Okay. So, that just happened. I am genuinely not sure how this fight works in this version of the game. Like, I feel like we have the right setup equipped. Oh, they changed it. I forgot. The ribbon in this version of the game makes you immune to Berserk. In the original game, it did not. That's actually a change in this version of the game. Apparently we need more magic defense and evasion. Do we seriously have to sit through the entire cutscene every time? Slow is right. I'll cut back to the fight. Cecil uses the crystal. Zeromus reveals his true form. Giga. Jeez. Okay, well, we got the Berserks up, so now it's just a matter of keeping them alive. I don't understand. I feel like I'm doing something wrong. And quite frankly, I'm at the point where we should be. Like, I am confident that a level 52 party should be able to take out Zeromus. But, oh well, I guess not. Well, I guess we need to do a little bit of a grind before we continue. So I'm gonna go ahead and walk out. Okay, so what we're gonna do for a quick grind, pick up some sirens. We should not need that many, but I will go ahead and pick up a bunch. We're gonna go ahead and pick up a bunch of Phoenix Downs. A few more elixirs. And some more cottages. There are a couple spots we can use these. I'm gonna go to the one that's the easiest to get to. Which is, we're gonna head back into Cave Bahamut. And this is going to give us a fight with 2 gold dragons. I didn't switch Cecil's armor back yet on this one. Or adjust the battle speed. That's okay. Yeah. These enemies are obnoxious and can hit pretty hard. But overall, not super scary, and they are a very reliable source of XP that you can get using the Siren. Because the Siren guarantees that you get a specific encounter in whatever area you use it. Actually, if I'm just doing a quick grind anyway, and my goal here is just going to be to get Rydia up to her best spell. I figure learning the spells that you have available in the game is a pretty solid cutoff point. Or should be. Rydia gets Death. Honestly, I don't need to even get Meteor. I just want to get Flare. Flare is kind of her best spell in a lot of ways. Well, Rydia still needs another level or two. Apparently I should have turned my XP rates up a little bit higher for those boss fights, because generally speaking, I think of that as being enough. Uh-oh. Probably gonna need a little bit more after Rydia gets her spell off. I ran out, so I didn't have enough, or ran out of MP, didn't have enough for a Bahamut. Well, I can honestly say I was not expecting to have to do this many to accomplish that. So that probably means I was a little bit less of at level than I thought. But I felt like I was doing really well during the boss fights. Like, all the boss fights leading up to Zeromus, we were wrecking them. So, yeah. Now, Zeromus always has been a bit of a jump in difficulty. Part of that is the way that his script works in the original. And I think... And it makes him very fast. I'm not sure exactly how that works in this version. I also got Holy. Rydia still hasn't gotten Flare. There we go. So, all of that was really only about 5 levels. I guess, let's see, Rydia still has one spell she hasn't learned, which is Meteor. Zerk. Full life. Holy. Slow. Haste. I'm gonna do one more. Quake is a really good spell. There we go. I wanted one more level for Rydia, though. Maybe I don't bother with it. He said as he prepped for using or for doing it anyway. I just wanted one more based on where her HP is at. Okay. With that, I will see you when I get back to the bottom. Okay, once more into the fray. Ready for another cutscene? As is how it always starts. Cecil uses the crystal. Zeromus reveals his true form. And I do feel like we want to still lead with a spider silk here. It does cause a counter flare, but we should be able to top off real quick here. Let's see if those levels made a difference. I don't think this actually helps us, but I'm not 100% sure, so we're just going to go with it. Bucket cider. Big bang. Hopefully we have enough hit points and that level made enough difference on our magic defense that we should be good. It does seem to have made enough of a difference. So from here, okay. I was gonna say if we've got time, we can go ahead and do some setup, but it looks like we need to do some more healing, so we will. Magic has been nullified. Okay. Okay, we're gonna start tossing some counter flares. It doesn't work. They fixed it. And by fixed it, I mean broke it for me. What just happened? Why did he just regain 9,999 hit points? I guess we'll see if we can survive this. We basically need to get back up. So, in the original game... I'm gonna actually pause so I can actually explain this, because I'm gonna need to concentrate. In the original game, when you reflect... or when you cast magic directly on Zeromus, he counters with Flare. Or a nuke in the original. In this... which means... if you reflected a spell off of yourself, he wouldn't counterattack it because it was not being cast on him. But they seem to have changed that to the point where even the reflected heal that he got ended up screwing me over. We just have to get lucky here. Nope. We lose. Okay. We'll see you after the cutscene. Okay. So, I think what we learned from last time is that I need to stop trying to be cute about it and just focus on exactly what I need to do. So we're not going to try and be cute about it. We're not going to go for any fancy reflect strats. We're not going to try and take advantage of any game systems. We are going to hit him in the face. I'm going to Berserk Cecil. I'm going to use Kiraja a whole bunch, and I'm not going to do anything with Rydia because whenever she attacks, she gets counterattacked. So she's just going to toss some, like, elixirs around at the characters with really high hit points to top them off because Kiraja's not. Let's toss the Excalibur. Okay, so he just restored 9,999 hit points again. That must be one of the breakpoints. Let's protect. That actually doesn't help us at all. Let's go ahead and Bacchus Cider here. Come on. Get me over to a Kiraja. Yeah, the vibe I'm getting from this is the downside of being very familiar with the game is that I am familiar with the version I'm familiar with has warts that have been removed. And I'm used to that. So there's certain things that just actually, I'm not going to bother resurrecting her because she's literally not doing anything. It's still an interesting boss fight, but if they were going to make it different, I wish they had made it substantially different. Like, this feels very similar to the original. If you're not familiar, the original has several kind of hidden phases where he shakes between them. He has a phase where he tosses virus or bio around. He has big bangs after each phase change, and usually not very much besides just during those phase changes. Perfect timing. That's fine. So the structure of this fight is very similar. One of the things I've never liked with this last boss fight is it is very one note. Zeromus doesn't do any status effects. Okay, Meteor's the last phase. He doesn't do any status effects, any physical attacks. It's one body, so AoE doesn't matter. he counterattacks magic, and you basically just have to physically bash him down and heal. Your physical defense doesn't matter. Cecil's ability to jump in front of attacks doesn't matter. The ribbons that you just got don't matter. This version of it feels more like what they were trying to do in the original, probably, which is fine. But it does not feel very balanced. Like, the rest of the game, if I had leveled up throughout, I would have been super over-leveled and just stomped on those previous bosses even harder than I did. And quite frankly, I was already stomping on them pretty hard for the most part. So I don't know. Edge is filled with goodness. Definitely couldn't have been possessed. Totally. There are people that are worried about us. But Golbez is going to stay on the moon to meet his father's people, the Lunarians. They're going to go back to sleep. Everyone's like, hey, Cecil, shouldn't you say something to your brother? They're like yelling at him and asking him to acknowledge that the guy who he's been fighting against is biologically his brother, even though they've not grown up together at all. Very, like, it feels forced. They're seriously giving us the Mizidian legend again? Oh god, why? Okay. So, we get to... This is going to give me a minute to talk through my overall opinion. Because obviously I'm a little frustrated from the way that boss fight went. I could have done that if I had just been focusing on an actual strategy earlier. But I was trying to use the systems as I understood them, and they did not work as I expected them to. So he ended up counterattacking. Like I said, I've never loved the design on Zeromus. Like, you get all this cool armor and weapons, and nothing matters. It's one of the things I love about the boss fight with Kefka, is the tower leading up to Kefka has a bunch of groups of multiple enemies with status effects and different elements and physical attacks and lots of different stuff. And they're all challenging in their own ways. And then even Kefka has a couple different phases that he goes through and does status effects and all kinds of good stuff. So there are, like, it forces you to use everything you have learned. Oh, post-game stuff, this, I don't remember. Ready to begin. Oh, where's Palom? Oh no, not again. Okay, this is new, I think. Or it might have only been in certain versions. And then I cast Blizzard on the creatures that we encountered on Mount Ordeals. Whack. How many times are you going to be late to training? The Elder's really angry. Okay, that is totally how that would work. How many times do you have to scold you before you learn? It'll be years before you're even half the sage Tella was. It's punishment you trained twice as hard as your sister today. That's not fair. I think it's very fair. When will you come to realize you have responsibilities? You are heir to the throne. I know, jeez. Your mouth says you know, but your actions say otherwise. Yeah. The correct words here would be, yes, sir! Alright, I'll shape up. But I can't help thinking about Rydia then. once again, this is something that is... I don't feel as well developed as it should be. For the way they kind of just inserted at the end. The last cutscene where I talked about them, Edge was flirting with Rosa, getting pissed off at Rydia, and Rydia was ticked off at him. And then the next time he was mouthing off about her joining them on the airship and stowing away, and called her a little kid. And I realized that there's part of that is just him being edgy and mean, but meh. Rydia, why do I have fangs and you don't? I wish I didn't have fangs so I could be like you. What are you talking about? It doesn't matter how we look like. Oh, she'll get more beautiful every day. Okay. The important thing is what you're like on the inside, not on the outside. Yeah. Not one of the best developed little series. Honey, you're queen now. Try calling me my king instead of honey. I know, but I can't stand being so formal. No, it's time for training. Let us begin training. That's... Honey, a king shouldn't... Don't say that. I think Yang will create a wonderful kingdom. Your Highness. Play that song about the paladin again for us. I will, but only after you've finished your work. You want the castle to be back the way it was, right? Yeah, that's a promise, right? Anna, I hope you're watching over me. I'm helping the people of Dancian. I'm caring for other people as I'd cared for you, like you said I should. I hope you and Tella are having a fine time together. That one was sweet. I like that one. Lolly ho. Take apart the tanks and remove any useful pieces. There's no need to worry about war anymore. Oh, why did they have tanks in the first place? Cecil and Rosa are to become the new king and queen of Baron. And we've been invited to the coronation. I'm the king, I can do whatever I want. Now go take apart some tanks. Lolly ho! Nice. Okay. I can't bring myself to face you yet. I must test myself as you did, Cecil. I'm on ordeals, and I will train until I've surpassed my father as a dragoon. Only then shall I return to Baron. Which I actually really like that in Kane. I believe that is also a scene that's included in the After Years. It's Kane on Mount Ordeals, so that's awesome. The moon, it's... what? I'm very confused about what I'm supposed to be seeing. Okay, there we go. The moon is flying away. Because apparently the moon is this giant Lunarian spaceship. Cool. What's wrong, Cecil? Thought I heard my brother's voice. That's weird, because you've only talked to him like 3 times, ever. Why aren't you getting ready? It's your big day. You must have lost track of time. You two can play smoochy face all you want later. Come on, Rosa. I mean, Your Majesty? Get some makeup on you. The bride can't keep people waiting. Okay. Oh. So yeah. Overall, I think the big thing that the thing I appreciate most about Final Fantasy IV is it did a lot to change the way we look at storytelling in video games. It is this is a great example. The fact that it has this very cinematic feel, that it frames the shots, it moves the camera, it has dialogue. The dialogue's not always great, but the sprite work and the way that the movement does gives you a lot of that emotion and a lot of that characterization, even if you don't always get it from the... God damn it, Palom. Even if you don't always get it from the dialogue. The story itself is pretty simple. The characters are pretty simple. There's not a lot of dynamic characters. There's a lot of stuff that hasn't always aged well. A lot of chauvinistic lines. A lot of kind of contrived story beats that it tries to take on. Like I said, it definitely feels like it is drawing a lot of inspiration from like Star Wars with the whole Golbez reveal as your brother, you know, the Dark Lord is your brother all along that's been stalking you for the last whole section of the game. But despite all that, it's still a classic. It still does a lot of things very well. And it still did a lot of things to change the way we think about games. And I honestly think it holds up well, and I think that this version of it would be a great pickup for anyone who is looking to play this for the first time. Or somebody who's just casually familiar with it. Now, that being said, I actually don't like this version, personally. I am so used to the mechanics in the original that when they fixed the bugs, it means I no longer how the game mechanics work. They made it work the way they wanted it to the first time, instead of the way that it actually worked the first time. And that means that there's a lot of times where I just got really confused because things didn't work the way that they are quote-unquote supposed to. And clearly the problem here is those were not intended mechanics, they were bugs and they fixed them. But, you know, where do you draw that line when it is a game mechanic? So that was most noticeable with the Zeromus fight. There were a few other times throughout it. And I guess the big thing to me is, if they were going to change things, I wish they had changed things more. if you're going to overhaul it and fix some of the mechanics, I wish that they would have done more to balance things, more to make things new and interesting. Or I wish they would have left it alone. But that's a pretty minor thing. And at the end of the day, it's still an amazing version of the game. I love the music. The music is easily my favorite part of it. I like the fact that they have the ability to toggle encounters to avoid the grind, the XP multipliers. It's a great feature for RPGs to have. I know a lot of people get kind of weird about it in the discussion, but the big thing to me is, you know, you're saying, oh, that's not how games are designed to be played or something like that. How many of you used no encounters during, or, you know, from, there's like a Guardian fusion that you can do on Diablos and Final Fantasy VIII. There's the Moogle Charm in Final Fantasy VI. There's lots of things. I mean, even repels in a lot of games, or the way that those work, like repels in Pokemon, can completely negate encounters in a lot of cases. It's not like that is a new thing to RPGs. It's just making it a toggle so that you have control of it. And I think that that's okay. You're absolutely right that it's not necessarily how the game is intended to be played, but I'm okay with cruising through and finishing this in less than 8 hours instead of trying to, you know, completely... I mean, my first playthrough of this on my channel took a lot longer. We'll just go with that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and skip. Data saves progress up to the final boss. There is some post-game stuff, I believe. I have not actually looked into what it is. So I think we'll do that next time if there is any. I'll take a look at it, see what the super bosses are, and just see what kind of how rough they are before I dig in, and how many there are, because I do want to get this wrapped up this week. Once again, if you have not listened to the podcast yet, I was playing through this as part of in preparation for a couple of podcasts. The first one released last week, the second one released today. So if you want to hear me talking about this game with other people, you can listen to that over on RPG Fan's website on the Retro Encounter podcast. Next week, we're going to be getting into the 7th Saga as our next game. We're continuing a lot of other awesome games like the Pokemon Reborn series. I'm going to play some more Final Fantasy IV Randomizer, Free Enterprise. And playing around with some new roguelikes as well that I might throw in the randomizer pool and start doing runs. So hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please give me a like and subscribe. Check out the other content on my channel. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments. And as always, have a good one. Have a great one.